Stadium here in Cincinnati. Tonight we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Baltimore Ravens and the Cincinnati Bengals. Justin Tucker set to boom this one away. And off we go to wrap up this Sunday of action. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Here we go, set.
A first carry for Samaje Perine. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That good for 22 and a first down. Opening quarter, his opening carry of the game, and I think they'll give it to him a few more times, as they should.
You're exactly right about that, but that type of a run, you want to repeat it many times until they show signs of stopping it. I think he did his visualization exercise before this one, and they're paying off.
And some room to maneuver. They'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 54 yards rushing for him now as he has gotten the night off to a hot start. He's off to a great start here in this first quarter. It seems like this defense is probably going to have trouble containing him.
I would agree with that. I love the observation. And here's the thing. Their game plan coming to fruition. You knew that they came in thinking that they could run it, and now they're proving that they can and doing it in a big way.
Off the play fake, Mon. And it's intercepted at the goal line. And the Ravens are going to get the football here as they force the INT on the game's opening drive. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
They'll start out here with the option left. And he'll use his blockers to get this up over the 20 to the 21. He'll pick up 7 there on the first down keeper. Now, this defense for the Bengals, they were terrific last week in the victory over Buffalo.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number, 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
27 yards there, a first down.
Well, this is an awfully tough route to defend in man coverage because he lines up on the right and then runs a crossing route back to the other side of the field. So as a defender, you're not only trailing him the whole way, you're also looking out for your own guys to make sure you don't get yourself picked off. And then you can't catch up in time to prevent the completion.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily...
And he lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home, the next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Jackson. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football. And Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football, because remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He can have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
They'll run again with Perine, and he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. Second down. The Bengals at 13-3 now on the year, and they come in on the heels of yet another victory. That ran their win streak, Charles, up to 7 now.
And I think that last win, that established them and stamped them, to me, as Super Bowl front runners. They're playing with extreme confidence, and you need that in order to go all the way.
From the 27, Mon. This is caught. It's Boyd. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. That puts him in excellent position, first and goal after a gain of 19.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a first and goal.
They'll run it here with Pirine, and that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Second down and goal. Mon. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
We don't see him miss too often. The ball could have slipped a little bit coming off his hand, and that's all it would take to send it high and out of bounds without a play.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is third and goal. Mond out of the shotgun. And that'll be caught. Touchdown, Bengals. It's Tyler Boyd. Great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he's going to get this across the 20 as he's out of bounds at the 23. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
On second down, it's Drake. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Any team that runs the toss and runs it successfully, that means they win the battle on the edges. That means you seal the edge in order to let your back get to the corner. They got it done there for a very nice game.
Jackson firing quickly out wide for Bateman. Just a gain of a couple there. And it'll be second down. These two teams met in Baltimore, you might remember, earlier in the year with the Ravens winning that game. So a win here in Cincinnati would give them the season sweep 2-zip. Throwing on second and 8. Jackson. That's taken in by Duvernay. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
To throw is Jackson. And that's going to be caught. It's James Prochet. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 43. 16 yards on that one and a Raven first. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 43. Counterplay, Drake. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now it's Jackson. That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 28. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first. The collegiate star here in the Buckeye State, it's J.K. Dobbins. And he is going to wind up losing yardage here, as that will take us to the end of the first quarter play. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Up the middle they go with Drake. About 3 yards there to the 27. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, Jackson. This is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Darius Slayton, 27 yards. And the Ravens are an extra point away from drawing level. Tucker with the extra point, and we are tied at 7.
That ties the game at 7.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Taken at the goal line. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. Even though they might not find the #1 seed next to their name come playoff time, there's not going to be very many teams, if any, entering the playoffs on the kind of run they're on. They're hot.
And I love that word, hot, because every team in the league wants to go into the playoffs on that uptick. Because a lot of the time you serve notice to the rest of the league that, hey, we're the team you need to deal with. We're the team that's going to be a real problem for you. And if they can continue this streak, they could very well be that team and gain that confidence that they're seeking as they head to the playoffs.
And confidence, that's the word I would use from our meetings with them. They said we're playing our best football right now. It is showing. So 8 yards on the completion there, and it's 3rd and 4 now. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. From the gun, here's Mon. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 17 and a Cincinnati first down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Linebacker Patrick Queen bringing him down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now Mon. This ball tipped, and it's going to be incomplete. Fortunate maybe to get that back. It's 3rd down.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out in the sky.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. This is taken at the 10. And right around the 20, he'll head out of bounds. A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
As the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments, prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
Yeah, we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on second and less than a yard. They stay on the ground with Drake. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are. Stay with who you know.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Joseph Osai. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Jackson now.
Open man is Duvernay. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
That's a good bounce back play right there after taking a sack on first down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call. If you're the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
And he will have a Ravens first down by about a yard as they're able to convert on 3rd and 2.
That's a tremendous group effort there because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. Slings it to Anders, and it's complete. The tight end has it.
And they're going to move it down to inside the 25.
Ran a perfect defense in this situation. Would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they showed passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first.
44 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
Jackson.
He'll dump this off complete to Dobbins. And the Ravens are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
Well, they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another first down. They've got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
No gain on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. So stuffed from the 2, now what?
You know me pretty well. What do you think I want here?
Play action?
Definitely. Let him get outside and create. And if he has to run it, he has a little bit more space.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. They'll try and pound it in with Drake. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
And now 3rd and goal coming up. The loss on 2nd down. That just means this crowd's going to get even louder, and they'll get a little bit of extra help from the defenders as they exhort them to join them in the effort.
This Bengal defense, they passed the first 2 tests. Now it's 3rd and goal. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, Brandon, we see why it's a team game there, because there's a sigh of relief that they just released defensively. If he's able to get that one away, that's likely a touchdown. But instead, that pressure from the front got to him and forced the incompletion.
You're right. He had him open, just a split second too late on the release. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. Tucker's kick is good. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Bengals drive about to get going. With his slim deficit closing in on the end of the first half, we'll see if they can move this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 out of this drive. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Throwing again on 2nd down. Jackson. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson, as the first half is winding down, and the Ravens will extend their lead here just before halftime. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Tavon Austin now from the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Here we go. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Ravens out in front as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon. Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the 2nd half. This taken in at the goal line. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here, and he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
and have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys are tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. A give running right, Drake. 48 yards on the ground for him so far.
On a second and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
Now it's Jackson. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. He's got a man complete. And they're going to move it down inside the 25.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
On first down, Drake. Oh, he put it on the carpet, a fumble. And the Bengals have recovered it. CD, that's one of those plays you put a mark by. I mean, that could be a big momentum swing here on the opening drive of the third quarter.
Yeah, we may have to revisit it, right? Because if that drive ends up in the end zone, they're sitting.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. From the 22, Jackson. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. And the Bengals are going to get the football back at their own 17. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the third quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this third quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone, possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
They start on the ground with P-Run. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
At the 17-yard line.
Mon looks to throw. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Ultra.
Here's Mon. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup. But you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. A gain there of 21 yards.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in the defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is off.
Oh, and for the third time, Jackson going to be intercepted. Picked off by Von Bell. And the Bengals force the turnover. They'll take over at the 10. So a potential momentum shifter there, working with a 2-score lead third quarter, but that not the smartest of throws.
I would agree with you on that one because this game is still very much in the balance. It felt pretty one-sided to this point, but now if these guys can turn...
Lamont fumbles it, and the Ravens have got it.
After that play, I think we know one quarterback will be extremely happy if his defense can hold the opposing team to a field goal here.
The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? First and goal. Drake. He is going nowhere in a hurry as he is going to lose yardage here in a big way. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for second down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
They're knocking on the door as they come to the line here on 3rd and goal from the 1. Jackson's going to try the sneak, and he is over the line for another rushing touchdown.
Is he a quarterback or is he a tailback?
Lamar Jackson, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Ravens are able to capitalize on the forced fumble by turning it into 6 points. Tucker with the extra point, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Again, here's Pirine. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
On 2nd and 9, Mon. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Kyle Hamilton picks it, and the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over. But no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Now Dobbins again on 2nd down. And a short gain down to about the 33. In the 1st half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they can actually get production from the lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
On 3rd and short, they'll try option left. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. He loses 4, and it brings up 4. Tucker's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So 3 more points tacked on, and this margin getting more comfortable by the minute.
And with the lead where it is, you can actually feel good about field goals. We talk all the time about scoring 6s, not 3s. But in this case, they're just looking to chew up some time and come away with points.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Now a carry for Pirine. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 134 yards for him now on the ground as he goes over the century mark here. I'd say he's ready for the playoffs ahead, no doubt. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. And they'll run here with Tavon Austin. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. It was Chuck Clark coming up to make the tackle. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
With the score, Ravens 27, Bengals 7.
Here we go.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Bond going to throw it. And he rifles one incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
So on 4th down, on is Evan McPherson and the Bengal field goal unit. And he'll be kicking into the wind in the 4th quarter now. McPherson's kick is good, and that will move the deficit from 20 down to 17. So they hadn't called on him at all until this point, but he comes through here and buries one from long range.
Yeah, that's awfully impressive, because usually kickers like to get that first one out of their system in the 1st quarter, sort of get them into the flow of the game, but to come in this late and knock it down from long distance, give him a lot of credit.
Fielded right around the 8.
Devin Duvernay on the return. The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Well, the win for them at this point seems pretty assured. I mean, still a decent amount of time left here in the 4th quarter, Charles, but you got the football, you're up 3 scores. They have to be feeling really good about where they're at.
I love your observation skills, partner, because I think you saw them charge onto the field fired up about another chance to get into the end zone. Looks to me like this group is ready to crush any hope left on the opposing sideline, and they want to do it with some gusto, too.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The offense on 3rd down tonight. Can't fault these numbers. 7 for 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Here's Jackson to throw. This throw taken in by Isaiah Likely. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. The Ravens send their punter out now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Here's Austin. Found good room to run there. Returns at 14 yards. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10.
Let's go.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And they were ultra confident coming in, that's for sure. They had won 7 straight, but number 8 not looking to be in the cards right now. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
On 2nd and 11 now. Mon. And this one too low.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Back to throw. And that is incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
The Bengals bring out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And now a high kick trying to pin him back. And a fair catch taken here right at about the 40-yard line. No return, but it goes down as just a punt of 31 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And it's looking all the more likely that a 5th straight win is going to be in the cards. We'll try to run some time here with a 1st and 10. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
At the 43-yard line.
On the counter now, it's Dobbins. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Cameron Sample in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down. The Ravens send their punter out now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Now Austin. 35 yards that time on the punt, and the Bengals take over 1st and 10. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the 1st here. 3rd down from the gun, it's Mon. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. Well, there's 2 sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it. I think about it awfully hard. But also, you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. That good for 19 and a 1st down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a
first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
That gets them 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd and goal now as they look to add a few more points here onto their total. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now.
One more time with Dobbins.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
Sometimes you get all those big guys down there in one spot, and there's just nowhere to go. And in this case, the defensive tackle used his strength and swallowed him up.
They'll try to run with Dobbins.
And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. It's about a 3-yard pickup there, but more importantly, they're still a few yards away here. It's now 4th down and goal.
So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try.
From the right hash here, should be an easy one.
Tucker's kick is good,
and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the 1st down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. Charles, for this losing side, their heads are hanging as they walk off the field today. And really, I mean, we know why. Those 3 turnovers by that offense, that's ultimately what doomed them.
And this is what coaches preach all the time to every team that we ever talk with. Taking care of the ball on offense, trying to take it away on defense. And let's face it, when you give it away 3 times in one game, you make it very difficult for your team to get the W.
So for Baltimore, a win here in Week 18 means they'll finish off the regular season at a very strong 12-5.
And now they'll await the final seeding for the playoffs ahead. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati,
they fall for just the 4th time all season as they will finish 13-4.
And they'll get their shot at playoff football as they'll be on the road next week as a wild card.